What's up guys, and in today's video I'll be ranking all 12 of the LEGO Star Wars planet sets that were available from 2012 to 2013. All of these sets were available for just $10 in stores for a couple of years from 2012 to about 2014 once all of them retired. If you enjoyed the video, be sure to give it a big like and subscribe to the channel if you're new around here. Turn on the notifications bell so you never miss one of my uploads, and let's jump in right into the rankings. And at the number 12 spot, we're going to have the TIE Bomber with the TIE Bomber pilot and the asteroid field. Now, all of these sets in this entire series were good. I think that none of them really had huge flaws, but out of the 12, I think this is the most lackluster one, with a very generic looking TIE Bomber pilot minifigure and a TIE Bomber micro set that was just very oversized and funky looking. The asteroid field seemingly lacked a lot of detail that the other planets have. At least most of them have quite a few detail, but even for $10 this was a decent pickup, and if you could find it on sale for 20 or 30% off, that would have been an absolutely amazing price back in the day. And at the number 11 spot is the currently most valuable version, and this is going to be the X-Wing Starfighter with the Yavin 4 planet. This version is about $100 nowadays, and it's a very, very rare one. For some reason, a lot of people didn't pick this one up. I can see why, but it's a very generic version of the Yavin 4 planet, and the pilot is just a generic pilot that was available in the X-Wing back in 2011. And so there really wasn't much for people to pick up except for the exclusive planet mold. I think this is a solid set if you want to collect all of them, but other than that, it is just a generic planet with that green background, and I don't think this one had much going for it. I'm surprised that it is the most valuable version, so if you do have it, congrats to you. You have about $75 to $100 worth of LEGO in a small box. Next up, we have the Hoth planet with the Snowspeeder and the Snowspeeder pilot. This one is a little bit better because the Snowspeeder is a very nice looking model. It also does have a front printed piece there, which I think is a really cool detail. And the Snowspeeder pilot is a good minifigure. It has leg printing and a lot more detail on the torso than the X-Wing pilot had. It is a decent set. I think this one is way better than the asteroid field and the previous one. I think this one had a great planet design, except for the fact that there isn't much blue on there aside from just the middle core of the planet. But other than that, I think this is a solid set for $10. Of course, like I said, this is a great pickup. It's seemingly the same as microfighters, except nowadays this would be $15 or $20. But back in the day, microfighters and these planet sets were just $10. A great pickup if you're ever going to the store and just want to get one of these for your collection. There were 4 waves of these, and I believe this one came in maybe series 2 or 3. And next up is one of the more interesting versions. This is going to be the Bespin Cloud Car with the Lobot minifigure with the planet of Bespin. This one is a mining planet, of course, if you didn't know. This doesn't include the Cloud City. I don't believe there's no small Cloud City part on the planet because it is quite small compared to an entire planet. But I think the Lobot minifigure was great. We definitely need a new version of Lobot. The last time we saw one was back in 2018 with the Master Builder series Cloud City set. I think we need to see a new version of Cloud City from LEGO. But other than that, going back to the planet set, I think this is a good version of the planet. I think the Bespin Cloud Car may be a little bit off colored. I think it may have to be closer to red than this orange color, and it was nearly minifigure scale or like micro fighter scale, so that's really cool, and I'm glad that LEGO decided to make this one. I am excited to see if LEGO does make any Cloud City sets sometime next year, perhaps a carbon freezing chamber, or maybe some sort of conference room with that Darth Vader scene and the Han Solo. Let me know your thoughts if you want to see more LEGO Cloud City sets next year. And next up, we have the Naboo planet with the Naboo Starfighter and the Naboo pilot. This one is a good one. I think this is a solid planet set for $10. You get an exclusive Naboo pilot minifigure, along with a really nice micro-scale version of the N1 Starfighter. I think this is a great set. I think the planet looks really good, but the only reason I think this one isn't up higher is because of the version of the Naboo pilot. It's kind of simple. It's not a great minifigure. It's just a generic minifigure, and the N1 Starfighter could have had a little bit of silver chrome on there, and it definitely would have been higher up on the list. I think the planet is one of the better planets we've seen, except for the fact that, I mean, it doesn't have much green on there. It seems to be a lot of water. I'm not too sure if that's how Naboo is in canon. Let me know down in the comment section below, but I simply think this could have been a little bit higher if there was a little bit more effort put into the designs. And at the next spot, we're going to have the Forest Moon of Endor with the ATSD micro build and the ATSD pilot minifigure. I think this is a very solid set. I think it's a great design of the planet. Really nothing wrong with the planet there, but I do think that they could have chosen something other than the ATSD. I don't have too many other ideas, but I think it could have been something different. I just don't think this really fits in the entire vibe of the planet and the starship version of the sets. This is just a generic ATSD build. It is cool, it is a nice design. You get a printed windscreen there, along with a decent minifigure. Could have used some leg printing, could have used some helmet printing, but other than that, for 10 bucks, this was a great pickup back in the day. And this next one here is one of my favorites. This is the B-Wing Starfighter with the B-Wing pilot and the simple generic planet of Endor. This one appears to have a lot of water on there, and you do get a really decent looking B-Wing pilot. You definitely could have used another helmet with a visor. This one just seems a little bit outdated, but the B-Wing was a great design. You get a printed piece for the windscreen there, a printed cone, along with a great design for the B-Wing. I'm not too sure if it folds. I do believe it does. You could fold the wings into the landing mode. But this is just a great looking set. I think LEGO really went all out on the B-Wing design, and to be perfectly honest, we need a new version of the B-Wing from LEGO anytime soon. Maybe next year we'll get an $80 version of it. I think it's long overdue on that. The last time we saw one was back in 2014, and we could definitely see one new one next year. And next up, we have the planet of Alderaan. This one is going to include a Rebel Fleet Trooper, along with the iconic Tantive IV. This one is a mini scale build. I believe it is almost the same exact size as the one with the Ultimate Collector Series Star Destroyer from 2019. I do own that set, and this one appears to be very similar to the same size as that one. The Rebel Fleet Trooper is nothing special. It's the same one LEGO used for quite a while from 2008 all the way to 2019. But other than that, this is a good set. The planet seems to be quite accurate. Sort of looks like Earth in my opinion, with all that grass and a little bit of water, or like a lot of water with quite a bit of land, but not a ton. 70% water, 30% grass. But other than that, I think this is a good set. Could have been changed a little bit differently. It could have had a better design on the Tantive IV, but other than that, this is one of the better LEGO planet sets. Next here we have the Coruscant planet. This one is a very great set. I think this, with a planet and the minifigure, this was a great choice from LEGO. Obviously in episode 2 you see quite a few clones on Coruscant, so don't get me wrong, there have been clone troopers on Coruscant before, but I just think that the worst part about this set is the Republic attack assault ship. This one is definitely not what we should have had. There definitely should have been a Venator or an acclimator of sorts in the microscale version. This does not need to be this assault ship of sorts. I don't remember this one from the films all that much. If you do remember, let me know down in the comment section below, but personally I do not remember this one at all from the movies or the Clone Wars, so I just think that a Venator would have been a much better pick. And next up, we have the Tatooine one with Sebulba. This one is a great set. I think that the Podracer is a very solid design. I think it's a great version of the Podracer micro fighter sort of scale. This one definitely could have been in a polybag of sorts eventually. And the Sebulba minifigure is great. He does include a wrench he can hold in his legs, which I think is a great addition there. And obviously for 10 bucks with this awesome Tatooine planet mold, it's a great set. Definitely something LEGO could have remade again if they ever chose to remake the planet sets. I definitely would not have been disappointed if they ever chose to make another version of this Tatooine set. And next up, we have the very iconic Kamino version of the planet sets. This is one of my favorites because of the minifigure. It's the only one that you receive an astromech droid. You get R4, R7, I believe that's what it's called. And you also get a micro version of Obi-Wan's Jedi Starfighter. I love this set. I think it's one of the best ones LEGO's made. I also do think that the R4 is a good, decently designed droid. And the Kamino planet is just great. It's all water. You could probably see a few versions of the Kamino bases somewhere down there if LEGO really did try. I'm not too sure if they did include that, but I do hope that they did. And lastly, at the number 1 spot, we're going to have the Death Star planet with the TIE Interceptor and the TIE Interceptor pilot. I think this is a fantastic planet set for just $10. You get a really decent version of the TIE Interceptor, sort of the polybag version that we saw this year is with a small few changes. And also the TIE pilot minifigure is a great minifigure as well. It just could have used a little bit of leg printing. But the Death Star planet is just what you're buying the set for. It's a fantastic version of it. I think it's a great model. And let me know your thoughts if you own any of the planet sets as a kid or if you own them now. Let me know all your thoughts in the comment section below. Do you agree or disagree with my rankings? And I catch you all in the next one. Have a great rest of your day, and goodbye.